My wife and I had what I believed was a happy, healthy marriage. We met when we were young, got married in our late 20s, and spent almost 10 years together. We didn't have children, not for lack of trying, but over time we both came to accept that we were content just being with each other. We each had our own careers, hobbies, and social circles, but we always made each other a priority. We kept our connection strong with weekly date nights, quiet evenings together, even if we were just on our phones, and monthly check-ins where we would talk openly about how things were going between us. 6 months ago, I would have said we were solid. No major fights, no unresolved tension. We were comfortable, loving, and stable. I loved her deeply and trusted her completely. I truly believed she felt the same. A few months back, she went on a short trip with one of her closest friends, Rebecca. It wasn't unusual. They had taken trips like that before. It was a chance to unwind and take a break. I encouraged her to go. I believed in the importance of maintaining independence in a relationship. When she came back, she seemed normal, tired, a little sunburned, and full of stories about travel mishaps and bad coffee. The first few days after her return were completely ordinary. We laughed in bed, debated about takeout, made weekend plans. Nothing fell off. Then Rebecca invited us over for dinner along with her boyfriend Alex. We met at a favorite Italian place, laughed, ordered too much food, and enjoyed ourselves. I remember thinking how nice it was to still have evenings like that, with good company and easy conversation. Later that night we went home, watched TV, and went to bed. I fell asleep quickly. Big meals tend to do that to me. But I woke up a few hours later to my wife sobbing. She was shaking me awake, completely unraveling. She said she had to tell me something she couldn't hide anymore. Rebecca had texted her saying she couldn't keep the truth from Alex and me any longer. She gave my wife an ultimatum: confess or she would do it herself. So my wife confessed. She had cheated on me during the trip, not once, repeatedly. It wasn't a slip-up. It was premeditated. She and Rebecca had gone on the trip to meet two men Rebecca already knew. The betrayal was deliberate, sustained, and hidden from me until a threat of exposure forced her hand. We tried to talk, but it was mostly tears, silence, and chaos. I couldn't sit still. I paced the room endlessly. At one point, I vomited from sheer shock and disgust. She gave all the usual excuses. It was a stupid mistake. It meant nothing. She loved me. She didn't know why she did it. She claimed she was drunk. She said it wasn't my fault, but none of it mattered. I could see in her eyes that nothing she said could fix what had been broken. How do you gamble something real for something so meaningless? How do you look someone in the eye for months, lie to them, and keep living like nothing happened? I stayed the night, not because I forgave her, but because I was too numb to move. In the morning, I packed a bag and went to my sister's house. She didn't ask questions, just hugged me and gave me a place to rest. I will always be grateful for that. 2 days later, I called a divorce lawyer. It wasn't rage or revenge that drove me. It was clarity. Infidelity has always been a hard line for me. We discussed that in the early years of our relationship. For me, trust is a foundation of love, and once it's broken, everything else crumbles. I thought that was the end of it. But a month later, I received a call from a cousin of hers, someone I barely knew. She said she was sorry to reach out, but felt I needed to know my wife had been diagnosed with cancer. At first, I thought it might be a lie, a manipulative attempt to draw me back. But it was real. She sent me medical records, scans, everything. We spoke on the phone. It was awkward and painful. She cried and explained her treatment plan. The diagnosis was serious, but not necessarily terminal. She told me she was terrified, that she didn't want to face it alone, that she still loved me, that maybe this was a sign, a wake-up call show her how badly she'd messed up. She begged me to come back, just to hold her hand, to be there. Part of me wanted to, not because I still loved her, I didn't, but because I still try to be a good person. The idea of her going through something so frightening alone haunted me. I remembered the woman I had once loved so fiercely, but I had to be honest with her and with myself. I told her I was sorry for what she was going through, that I didn't wish her pain, that I would help financially if needed, but that I couldn't return, Not because I wanted her to suffer, not because I didn't care, but because the love I had for her was gone. Being there would have been dishonest. Every hug, every act of comfort would have been a lie. Pretending there was still a bond when there wasn't would have been worse than leaving. She has family. She has friends. She's not alone. I still care about the person I thought I married. I mourn her, but the person she became is a stranger to me now, and I can't rebuild a life with someone I no longer recognize. Her family doesn't see it that way. Her cousin, her aunt, some of her friends, they've been calling, texting, telling me to be a man, to do the right thing, to prove that I ever loved her. Some have even gone so far as to suggest that my leaving caused her illness, as if emotional pain manifests cancer. Some of my friends are split too. Half think I'm cold-hearted. The other half think I'm justified in protecting myself. The truth is, no matter what I do, someone will judge me. If I stayed, they'd call me weak. If I left, they'd call me cruel. But I'm the one who has to live with my choices, and I know that if I went back, it would break me. Pretending, faking comfort, offering false hope. That's not kindness. That's cruelty in disguise. I don't hate her. I don't wish her harm. But I don't owe her my life, my love, or my peace. Not anymore. For those wondering, we didn't only talk once a month about our relationship. We talked openly all the time, but we made a point to have one intentional conversation every month where we'd sit down without distractions and check in just to make sure nothing was going unsaid. I realized that might have sounded robotic, but it wasn't. It was our way of staying close and transparent. Also, I mentioned proof of her diagnosis not to be dramatic, but because I honestly didn't believe her at first, given how her family had been pressuring me since I left. I needed to be certain it wasn't some manipulative ploy. She sent the documents, and I confirmed everything. I wouldn't lie about something this serious, and I don't believe she would either. To clarify, the cheating wasn't accidental. It wasn't a drunken one-night stand. She and Rebecca went on that trip specifically to meet two men Rebecca knew. I saw the text myself. Rebecca told my wife plainly that if she didn't confess, she would tell both me and her boyfriend. My wife didn't confess out of guilt. She confessed because she had no choice. I know there are lots of fake stories out there, but this is real. I'm not looking for attention or validation. I just needed to get this off my chest. Some of my friends think I'm heartless. I wanted to hear from people who weren't emotionally involved. Thanks to anyone who read this far. It's a mess, I know. Life doesn't always give clean answers.